What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome. Long time no see. The background is all kind of crazy back there. How you guys doing? It's been a while. I know. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to like, comment. Of course, some of you already have. Share the content. You know, there's that little strange, awkward-looking arrow. Feel free to click that bad boy and share this across social media. Please, if you do follow me, tag me in your share. A lot of you have sent me friends requests the last several weeks on Facebook. So, you know, you can tag me there. It's Tyler Hudson there, but I go by Ty everywhere else. Get a swig of the old flavored water, and I'll get with you in just a second. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I know. People complain about that, too. Ty, I just can't stand it. You're taking a drink of your water while streaming. That's just, I just can't even. So, we have had some recruiting news, believe it or not. But before we get into all the good stuff, I want to read your comments really quick. Get caught up there. Hey, Ty, what's up, Kerry Williams? How you doing? Yo, boy. Judd, how you doing, my man? We back, boys, he said. It's been a minute. Robert Brooks, what's up? Denarian Fondren, Arkansas stand up. Tony Brown, I know Mason Jones left. I said on the Hog Talk I felt like he and Joe would both leave. But then, 2 weeks later, all hell breaks loose across China and then here. And now this virus has shut everything down. So I kind of felt like, wait a minute. I said this in Discord. I said there's an opportunity here. Maybe this changes things because of the quarantining and the lockdown. Well, I don't think anyone's under any mandatory lockdowns per se. I think it's self-containment, I think is what the states are actually calling it, rather than an enforced lockdown. Then again, maybe they are. I don't know. I've only really been keeping up with Arkansas, if I'm being completely honest. What else was there left for him to do? Oh, right, Mason Jones. We could get into that. We can absolutely talk about that and more. Mr. T-Dub, I hope all is well out on the left coast, my friend. Jalen Harris. Yep, Jalen Harris, he gone. So there you go. Two guys, you've made a little bit of room now for these incoming players. Don't ask me about Harris. I don't know. I haven't even had time to even figure out what was going on there. That changes some things, but not overall. I kind of feel like that's not a huge loss, but it is unfortunately a loss nonetheless. DMAC has 1 year of eligibility left. Oh, T-Dub. We got Vance Jackson. They did. Arkansas got a grad transfer who's immediately eligible, 6'9". Averages five or so rebounds a game, 11 points. So I think he'll probably see the court next year for sure. Todd Parker. So when does the show or announcements start? Oh, I guess you're talking about this. We're here. We're live now, Todd. Sometimes it takes me a little bit. I got to share this across all social media and, try to get the word out. And then also, live streams. I realize a lot of people, Razorback or sports fans in general, aren't really used to coming onto YouTube to watch a live stream. But usually what happens is you give it a few minutes, let the room kind of fill up so you don't have to repeat yourself over and over. And then people come in late and they ask questions, and it's like, I already answered that. But it's okay. It's still going to happen. People are still going to come in late, but that's why there's a little bit of a delay in the start. Sorry, Todd. Sorry about that. And we have a top 5 recruiting class, says Jacob Botwinick. We sure do. With or without Isaiah Joe, I still feel like this team next year is going to be special, although I kind of feel like Joe still might be that glue that you just can't lose. I really think before you get into the preseason hype, who was it that put out, I cannot remember for the life of me, someone in the national media. Was it Dodd or someone from NBC? Someone somewhere had Arkansas. They put out a too early top 25 list, and they had Arkansas with Mason Jones coming back as a ranked team. Obviously, you wonder now, like, where these individuals. This is why you don't do these too early polls. That's why you don't do it. You just don't do it, especially with the grad transfer and the new and just how the NCAA handles transfers, how they play favorites. That's why I'm just not a fan of doing these too early polls, especially right when they canceled the season and everything, and we hadn't even had March Madness, and then you're going to put out a too early poll. Come on, people. But it makes you wonder now with Isaiah Joe left kind of hanging in the balance, what happens next? If he comes back, where does that put the Razorbacks next year? You feel like pretty damn good. You feel like to have that hype, the point I was trying to make earlier, to have all this hype and this excitement, it's still going to be really high because of how good this recruiting class is, the fact you've got the Muss bus rolling back around town in Fayetteville. You still feel pretty good because of those two factors, but then Isaiah Joe's like the icing on the cake for next year for that hype to really explode. And I think with Isaiah Joe, I'm 50-50 on whether or not I think he comes back. You still wonder how much this virus, with the possibility now there's a lot of questions. Like, what happens after the summer of 2020? Does this virus go away and stay gone? There won't be a cure for this or a vaccination by July. We'll get to that in a minute. Somebody was on Paul Feinbaum's show today and actually made that statement. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't think that's going to happen. I think just to go through trials, clinical trials, and all the studies and research they got to do to make sure that if a vaccination does come around, to make sure it doesn't harm and actually have a worse effect. It takes a little while for those clinical studies to take place, and I unless they have this thing ready to go now and putting it through trials now and speeding things up, I don't know how we have a cure by July. I don't think that happens, or at least the odds. Myself, if you're putting me in Vegas and you're like, hey, you got like $1,000 or $5,000. Is there going to be a vaccination by July? Yes or no? Were you putting? Were you placing your bets here? I would say no. That's just me. I'm not a doctor, though. You never know. It feels like it would need a miracle, though, to happen before July. But anyways, with all these things hanging in the balance, it really makes you wonder how this will affect Isaiah Joe's decision. Mason Jones, it clearly had the opposite effect of what I thought it would have. But again, I said what? 3-4 weeks ago on the Hog Talk, I didn't feel like either of those guys were coming back. I just didn't. I never felt good about it. I felt like Mason Jones played truly. I think he hit his ceiling. And like, you're not going to do much better than what that guy. He should have been. There should have been no question that he was the best player in the SEC. Should have gotten Player of the Year across the board. He didn't. I don't know how you top that. And he still gets graded out somewhere around like the top 70. I guess you could come back, but here's the thing. If you underperform what you did this year, you're only going to drop further. You're going to drop. So I understand, and this is why I thought Mason Jones was going to go pro. Now, again, the virus had me change my mind and kind of rethink things a little bit. Anyways, I've gone on too long about that. I heard that Joe was going to go through the draft process. Well, yeah. Top 16 teams let them play one-on-one for the national championship. Most experts are saying the virus will subside in the summer, but return with a vigor in the fall. And that has happened apparently in kind of semi-modern history. Apparently, what virus was it that went away and came back and even worse? Was it the big flu pandemic in the early the early 1900s when it went away and it didn't do a whole lot of damage? It did damage, but not a whole lot. Then it came back and it was even worse. That's kind of the fear. Sup, Ty? What's going on, Mike? I hope all is well. How has Will Wade not been fired yet? Believe it or not, I have not had a chance to watch that documentary. I will. Rest assured, that is definitely the next thing. I just finished The Tiger King last week. Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to lie. When I was hearing about the Tiger King and seeing these clips, I was thinking, please, God, don't let that be in Arkansas. But that's one of the best things I've ever watched. It's Tiger King. Highly recommend it. I'm going to hire a new assistant, and I think her name's going to be Carol, and I'm just going to blame it all on her. The Spanish flu. Okay. That's what a couple of you were saying. Okay. That was pretty bad. I think that was the one that went away, and then it came back, and it was worse. Ty, do you think the NCAA will go through with the summer football season where it's only like 3 months? I have no idea, Tony. I don't know. Only thing my original thought on this whole virus thing was that, okay, it's going to be bad for a little while, but then maybe it goes away, hopefully by May, and what the NCAA could do is push spring football to summer football where you have, because that's supposed to be dead period. That's supposed to be where coaches can't contact players or whatever. You lift that up. You allow them to have, what is it? How long is spring camp? Isn't it like 5 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks? You do that. You take that and you push that into the summer. I felt like that, but now with the things the way they are, I don't even know that would be an option. If again, I have a feeling that we're not going to have a football season. I mean, I'm on the fence. I don't know anything more than you guys do. And I'm typically a glass is half full individual, okay? The glass is half full for me, right? Not a sunshine pumper, but I always like to see the good side of things, despite all the bad. And I just have this feeling that football could very well get canceled. I don't know. I'm not going to be like Kirk Herbstreit, and I'm not going to come out here and say that this is going to happen or this isn't going to happen, but you just feel like with how the United States has reacted to this, how our government's reacted to this, how governments around the world are reacting to this, and now you've got certain people who were optimistic that this thing would be gone relatively soon, have now kind of changed that that narrative a little bit. I don't know. But fingers crossed, right? God willing, everything will go back to normal and lives will be saved, and that's what's most important. But this is a sports channel, so we're going to focus on sports. Okay. Football. How about that? Let's talk a little football. Arkansas got a 3-star linebacker commit, Marco Avant, 6'2 and a half. I've heard kind of, he's a tall 6'2", short 6'3", 200 and about 15 pounds out of Jonesboro, part of the 2021 class. This kid, his recruiting is starting to blow up, starting to get a little bit more and more popular. He was literally offered. He's the number 4 player in the state of Arkansas. He was offered today, and he committed today, unless I read that wrong. But offered and took the commit right out the gate. Other offers include Kansas, Houston, Memphis, among others, a total of 13 offers. And again, some of these, I believe just about half those have come this year since February. Took part in the Arkansas camp back in 2018. Then he went into the Oklahoma State camp in June, followed immediately by the Texas A&M camp, literally days after the Oklahoma State camp. His very first offer was from Texas Southern. Again, his name is Marco Avant, 6'2", 215-pound, 3-star outside linebacker. He is the number 4 player in the state. We'll see how that changes. Again, assuming we have a season, assuming they allow off-season stuff, camps and things to take place, we'll see if he gets a jump. That's the other thing, too. How this virus is going, we know it's already affected recruiting with the dead period that they're on right now. It's been extended for a little while, so there's no contact. I don't have that date in front of me, but they extended it. This thing was supposed to be done with before spring camp. Now it's extended through spring camp, I believe. So head coaches, assistant coaches, position coaches, recruiting coordinator, nobody can get a hold of these players. They're supposed to be on dead period. So anyways, I think you kind of wonder if this kid isn't a diamond in the rough story. He wasn't highly sought after, didn't have a whole lot of interest until the last few months or last 7 or 8 weeks or so. But again, Kansas offered him, Houston offered him, Memphis. He's definitely drawing some interest from around the country. Don't know if these are all committable offers. The only thing I got out of anybody was that the Kansas offer was committable. So, and then I think I thought he had a visit coming up. Obviously, that's going to be delayed, but I think he still had a Kansas visit left, an official Kansas visit. So it sounds like Kansas, if there's no other teams that come along for this young man, for Mr. Avant, it sounds like this could be well, he's already committed, but we'll see if KU doesn't just go away. And I think he still plans on taking some other visits. I'm not really sure. I don't know how Sam Pittman's going to operate. That's the other thing, too, that sucks about all this. You know, Brett Bielema had a rule where if you're committed and if you take official visits anywhere else, and I don't know if this was 100% accurate throughout his entire time as the head coach, but this had been mentioned on the radio. I obviously had read this on online and had some other people that along the way since I've been doing this have kind of brought this up before, but Brett Bielema would eliminate your offer. So I don't think Sam Pittman operates that way. I think Sam Pittman's the kind of guy to be like, you know what, take your time, look around, we'll still be here. But we don't know if, after all, this guy is a hell of a recruiter. We don't know his tactics from a head coaching perspective. We've seen what he can do as an offensive line coach and what he did here recruiting. I'm sure that it's going to be a similar approach. I'm sure his tactics are going to be probably the same. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But, I wonder. I know that there was interest with the KU visit or the KU offer for this young man, but I don't think he was ever going to – I think he's going to be a Hog, if I'm being honest. He'll sign with Arkansas. And I was taking a look at the top players in the state, and I had a chance to watch some video. I've been watching some video, and this kid's video stood out among the rest. And he is currently – I think he's the number 5 or number 6 player in the state of Arkansas. Tight end Aaron Outley out of Little Rock Parkview. Pretty good-sized kid, 6'4", about 230 pounds. His video, his size, his measurables, his athleticism. Hell, there's a video of him leaping over a defender. He reminds me so much of DJ Williams. He's coming out of Little Rock. He's similar measurables, kind of not obviously the same background. DJ had some stuff happen in his life. I don't think that's Aaron Outley's. I don't think he's had that happen to him. There's a really good I think you can find it on YouTube. There's a video on DJ Williams and his journey to Little Rock and everything. Pretty sad stuff. But I don't think that's not what I'm implying here. Aaron Outley, just being from Little Rock, same measurables, athletic, catches everything in sight. Arkansas offered him back in December of last year. Before that, Kansas and Memphis had already offered. His recruiting, it's starting to boil over. Since then, Southern Miss, Mizzou, Louisiana Tech, Arkansas State have all offered. And then early February, Florida State offered, followed by an LSU offer the first week of March. Watching his video, he's a solid blocker, great hands. I really liked what I saw. If you get a chance, go. I think he has. I found his huddle, the HUDL, the huddle videos. I found his huddle video, and it's pretty impressive. If the Razorbacks swing and miss on him, and I hope they don't, I don't think they do. In fact, someone's going to have to check this. I'm pretty sure he's been crystal balled to Arkansas, and the one person I've been able to rely on any kind of information believes that he's going to be a Hog as well. But if they do swing and miss on him, there's another tight end that could also be on commit watch, and that's Ryan Horstkamp. That's Horstkamp. It's not Horstkamp. Horstkamp with a T and a K. So 6'4", 230 pounds out of Washington, Missouri. He's also got some pretty good offers. Not great, not a whole lot of Power 5s, but he's got an interesting list of offers as well. If they do swing and miss on Aaron Outley, again, that's Aaron Outley, ERINOUTLEY. So yeah, his video it's fun to watch. He's watch him block. I mean, he is just straight up punking kids, man. It's pretty impressive. I had an idea of taking his video and showing you guys and kind of doing like a little bit of voiceover as you watch his highlight reel. Again from Huddle. But he's aggressive and he's got hands. He looks like he runs pretty clean routes. They line him up at the slot. They line him up outside. Obviously, they'll move him in and have him block inside. He's golly, he's like a DJ Williams clone, man. It's incredible. Just as athletic too, maybe even more so. So he's a must get, and he's someone to keep an eye on. All right, let me read your comments after all that. After all that note reading here, who is Tiger King? Hong Kong flu, says Mr. Bloodline. The Rona is taking away all the sports. Makes me sad. I know. Come on, Ty. Have hopes. Well, it's just it's you have to be based in some form of reality, right? Like you have to. It's not that it's bleak, right? It's just that there's a fear of this thing coming back, right? And you wonder how the NCAA handles that. I hope they have. If they cancel the season, oh Lord, I don't know what this channel will become. Hell, it might just be. I don't know. It might just be me waving at the camera. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. We could talk about recruiting and then hopefully talking about how basketball might be coming back. I don't know at that point. If football gets canceled, does everyone get a red shirt for that year? I don't know. It's all up to how the NCAA handles that. I could see them doing that. We know the NCAA gave all spring sports, all those kids, all those seniors, they're giving their year back, if I understood that. Let's see. Keith Lester, tell me why you've never reached out to me. Never banned you, Keith. I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me why you never reached out to me after the Snowflakes banned me. I don't know what that's about, Keith. Oh! Why would I do that? I mean, why? It's not up to me to reach out to you. You could reach out to me and ask to come back into the Discord. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we are at least a year away from a vaccine, if not longer. Ty, do you have Instagram? I do, but I never use it. I just, I should. The Hog Talk has an Instagram, and hell, I don't even know. I don't even get on that. Facebook and Twitter is about all I do anymore. Could they postpone football season? Yeah, they really could. And it could happen. I was already bummed that Little Rock. We got this game in Fayetteville. We got the spring game in Fayetteville. And I was like, all right, yes, I can absolutely go to that. We'll have this whole thing with the Hog Talk people and the Pig Trail, the followers here and on the HTP. We'll all get together. Maybe we'll have some form of a tailgate or a booth or something. And then this happens. And you know what? There's more important things. Lives are at stake here, but still it just sucks. And now here we are. We're talking about maybe not even having a season. Tyzilla Coffee Talk. Talk among yourselves. If you get banned out of our Discord, I don't know. We've banned a couple of people. You're not the only one, Keith. If you want back in, you can reach out to me and talk. I don't even remember why they banned you, if I'm being honest. I don't even remember the situation. That's been so long ago. If sports are canceled, especially football, oh, wow. Mark, that got completely retracted. I don't know what you said, but YouTube won't even let me retract the statement. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that, Mark. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but it is really unfortunate, Mark. I agree. So I hope you guys, how are you guys quarantining? Like, what are you doing? I want to know. Are you still going to work? The CDC recommended today that everyone wear masks. I don't know if you guys saw that. Trump had a briefing today. I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but I know that supposedly they're going to be handing out masks wherever they can, I guess. Is that right? Again, we don't talk politics here, but obviously this is a little different. But the CDC, I guess, is recommending now that everyone wear a mask if you're out in public. I have my own little bottle of Germax, not even going to lie about it. I'm trying to stay home. And I'm going to tell you this, too. If you have a fear about ordering food from a fast food restaurant, I'm going to tell you right now, as someone who did that for like 5 years back in the late 90s, okay, my first job was Taco Bell in 1999 on the old 6th Street. The old 6th Street Taco Bell, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, they've probably been prepared for this long before this thing even blew up in the States. They take that crap serious. They do not want to be held responsible for spreading for spreading this. That's not the kind of news they want to make. I remember when chives. You guys remember they used to put green onions on the old Mexican pizzas? Well, apparently it harmed somebody. Got some people really sick. They didn't just push up expiration dates on them. No, they completely got rid of them. They stopped putting green onions on your Mexican pizza. Look that up. Like 2000, maybe 2001. I was there. That was a big deal back then. So I'm not telling you go out and order a bunch of fast food, but don't let that scare the shit out of you that you don't even bother to eat out when you run out of food in your pantry, right? Like we've got that. We're trying to figure out what we're going to eat after I'm done here. I don't even know what we're doing for dinner. This is what Karen was for. I have worked from home for over 3 years, so it's business as usual as long as I have a job. That's cool, Mike. Or Mark, sorry. I thought you were Mark Ewing for a second. Or Mike Ewing, rather. Jacob, I've watched a lot of Boy and Girl Meets World, played Xbox, done a lot of homework. Yeah, I've been playing the living crap out of Call of Duty Warzone. But the thing is, I only play when my friends are on. So, and that's like at the end of the night. And then even then, we only play for a few rounds. They changed some things. They changed... They have this new mode. It's like blood money. It's really fun. If you don't have, if you're interested in playing something to keep you preoccupied, Call of Duty Warzone is absolutely free. We got some more. Pull that up here. Got some more stuff. I had someone ask me, as a matter of fact, after I tweeted about the commitment that Arkansas got today. Someone asked who's next in my Twitter DMs. I said, "Hey, who's next?" Did a little bit of digging. Reached out to a couple of people. The only thing that I could get back, and based on a little bit of research. And just basic knowledge of what's going on. Keep an eye on, and I'm talking about commit watch. I'm not saying they are on commit watch, but kids that wouldn't surprise me if they committed sometime soon. Maybe even possibly around summer or sooner. Michael Lunds, 6'3", 230-pound, 3-star linebacker out of North Hardin High School in Kentucky. The Hogs were among the first of the Power 5 schools to give him an offer. He has, I was told, he's got two crystal ball projections, both of which I'm told are for Arkansas. Drayden Norwood, a lot of you know who that is. 6 foot, roughly about 6'1", 180-pound corner out of Fort Smith. Or defensive back, rather, out of Fort Smith Northside. He visited back on February 1st. He's already planning to return to campus for another visit. I feel pretty good, and it would not surprise me if he, of this short list that I have, he would be on the bottom of the guys that I would expect to commit sooner than later. I would say probably closer to the season, assuming we have a season. But I still think he should be on. It wouldn't shock me if he committed sooner. Caden Salter, all right, 4-star dual-threat quarterback out of Cedar Hill, Texas. There's been a lot of talk about him. About 6'1 and a half, 6'2", 190-pound, again, dual-threat quarterback. Kendall Briles, and I had no idea about this. Kendall Briles has actually been after this kid in communication with him and his family since he was a freshman. Really strong relationship with Caden Salter. I'm not saying that Arkansas that you should have him on your wall of kids to expect to commit soon, but it would not shock me if he committed sooner than later. Ketron Jackson, another 4-star, 6'3", 190-pound wideout out of Royce City, Texas, has been recruited very hard by Arkansas. Justin Stepp has actually put him at the top of his list of targets. He's his recruiter. That's who's obviously recruiting him. Justin Stepp, wide receivers coach. Need I say more? No. This kid, I'm not going to say he's. I don't know who to compare him to because I'm not going to say he's a Trey Knox because Knox is taller by like 3 inches. Burks, he's not like Burks is he's. Well, you'll find out about that actually. I've got a podcast that I'm going to try and get recorded for you guys, hopefully, and have it out for you, talking about freaks of nature. I can't wait to do this. I thought about doing a YouTube video, but instead I'm going to put it into a podcast on the Pig Trail Pod, talking about freaks of nature. So there's only one Burks, but he maybe he strikes you as a I don't know, maybe a taller taller Jarius Wright. Like, he's a clean route runner, great hands. A little bit taller than Jarius Wright, but again, they've got Keytron at like 6'3". I think he's closer to about 6'1.5", 6'2". But, a little bit taller, but clean route runner. A lot of his film kind of strikes you similar to Jarius Wright's. Then again, when you've seen one good receiver video, you've kind of seen a lot of them. So it's hard to compare wideouts. It's really hard. But anyways, those are the guys. Again, Michael Lunds, linebacker, 3-star. Drayden Norwood, 4-star defensive back. Caden Salter, 4-star dual threat quarterback. Number one, I believe he's number one dual threat in the state of Texas, and might even be the number one quarterback in the state of Texas overall. And then Katron Jackson, a 4-star, also out of Texas. Those are some names that I would keep an eye on for kids that wouldn't shock me if they committed sooner than later. So, okay. Also, on the Paul Feinbaum show today, I was just talking about how someone was on his show and had something to say about the season. Former K-State athletic director John Weefade, that's a hell of a name, said if there's no vaccine for COVID-19, a.k.a. coronavirus, by July, it would be unlikely that there would be college football in 2020. To that, I say, Paul, COVID-19 ain't played nobody. Their schedule's weak, Paul. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney says he has zero doubt the season will start on time. So there you go. Those of you looking for light at the end of the tunnel, maybe there's your light. Dabo thinks there absolutely will be. I kind of skimmed over why he thought that. Mostly it was because we're America. We've put a man on the moon and a car on Mars, I think was something that he was speaking to. We've got Apple iPhones, so of course we'll have football. I would say because of the money lost, that's they're going to figure out what they got to do. But you also have to be wary of what the federal government, at that point, are they telling you what you can and can't do? And then that's a whole other thing. And the NCAA doesn't want to be held responsible for helping spread the virus. So these are things we have to keep in mind. But, yeah. John Weefade says probably not, assuming we don't have a vaccination by June. And Dabo Swinney says we absolutely will because we're America. And I don't know that he's entirely wrong about that. We've done some phenomenal things as a country. But this has hit us. I mean, this has hit the world in the balls, and I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't know what's next for everything, for sports. But, there's other things that are more important. I get that. But it just kind of makes you wonder the long-term effect that this has. I mean, this is going to leave an echo for a while. You wonder how the NCAA responds with all the money they're losing. Do we see – someone had brought up on Twitter about restructuring now the Power Fives because the NCAA – like the incentive of having these conferences joined together. Think of the money that could be made. Does this kind of push that? We've been talking about that for years. Does this push you in that direction? I can remember people saying that you would need something huge to happen to push you in the direction of these quote-unquote super conferences. Is that the shove? Is that the push? Is this COVID-19 that push? Because how exciting would that be to have Oklahoma play, I don't know, I would say USC, but they've kind of sucked lately. But, I don't know, Oklahoma play Alabama or Georgia play Texas. How fun would that be? And maybe this pushes them in that direction to form these super conferences in a response to the virus and to the response to the money they've lost. I don't think that's the case. It would be interesting to see. It would be really bad for Arkansas if that happened. I think that goes without saying. So, yeah. That's really about all I have. That's all the notes that I have. I hope you guys have I hope you're staying busy. If we don't have a season, what happens to Rakeem Boyd? Well, he's probably gone. I don't know. Again, it just all depends on what the NCAA says you can and can't do and what the conferences try and figure out. I don't know. Maybe I could see them giving Rakeem Boyd another year, but I'm missing Saturday Night Live right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. A lot has to happen, I think. Obviously, if this thing lifts up, if the death toll really starts to plummet, if the people getting sick all of a sudden that starts to plummet and we start to see the good signs, I'm sure we'll have a football season. There's too much money at stake, right? So, okay. What are we running on here? Oh, we're over 30 minutes. Okay. All right. I hope, again, I appreciate each and every one of you, to the Patreon supporters, man, through thick and thin. I really expected just a mass exodus of people to drop Patreon, and I'm really surprised that nobody has. I'm thankful for that. But I completely understand during these tough times. We don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I figured, why not go live? We had some recruiting news happen. We finally had something to talk about that, and I know you guys want to keep your minds off that, although that's been half the show tonight, talking about COVID. But I hope that you guys are doing okay. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's supposed to be a pay or a GoFundMe for the families affected in Jonesboro from this tornado, and I was actually going to look that up. If you guys have that link, let me know in chat, and if you're on Discord, send it to me, and I'll push it through. But I really wish I searched it really quick, really fast. Let me see if I can. I did a real quick, like a little Twitter search, and I just didn't, I glanced over it really quick. Let's see, GoFundMe. Arkansas. Let's see what that latest. Yeah, see, I'm still not seeing the actual link. So if anybody has it, send it to me. Well, maybe we have one here. GoFundMe. Well, there's so many. That's definitely not it. That's from February 5th. Let's try Google really quick because I want to get this to you guys. Let's see, Jonesboro. GoFundMe. News. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see what we got here. I should have done this to begin with. I'm not seeing it here either. Well, okay. Again, if we have it, we'll post it. SNL is hard to watch anymore. I have to agree with that. Again, if you guys have the link, forward it to me. I'll pin it to my description, or I'll put it down in the comments section. Right now, I have links disabled because of bots and people trying to push their content elsewhere. And I'm like, yeah, we're not here for that. We're here for Razorback talk, right? But if you have the GoFundMe link, send it to me, and I'll get it posted out. So if you want to contribute to that, it's supposed to be, I thought it was up yesterday, but I can't find it. So, again, there's a GoFundMe supposedly available for the families affected in Northeast Arkansas from the tornado. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and obviously everyone who's been affected by this, by the COVID, by the coronavirus. I've read some just absolutely heartbreaking stuff on social media, as I'm sure we all have. So, yeah. Hopefully, sooner than later, I'll be back. We'll have some more news. I'll try to keep you guys up to date, try to keep you posted when I do go live. Unfortunately, I wasn't really sure when I'd be able to go live today until later in the evening. Hopefully, next time I can give you a little bit more of a heads up. So, anyways, thanks a lot. You guys be safe. Hey, wash the hands and Germ-X and maybe wear a mask. I don't know. I'd take all precautions. If I think I'm probably going to from here on out, try to take this thing as serious as possible. So again, I'm not telling anybody to panic, but stay home, be safe, and all that stuff. So until the next time, woo pig suey, go Hogs. You guys be careful. Oh, really quick. There is going to be a Pig Trail pod about the freaks of nature at Arkansas. I'm working on it. I've got a script laid out. Hope you guys check it out. It should be available across Spotify and iTunes. Going to be talking about a certain player on the roster who I kind of let leak a little bit ago, but that should be available either this weekend or sometime early next week. You should get the notification if you are subscribed to the Pig Trail pod, wherever, on iTunes or Spotify. You should get the notification. So, anyways, look forward to keep your eyes out for that. And I'll let you know. I'll post it either on Discord or on Twitter, or maybe even here somewhere. So stay home if you're sick. Come over if you think. I love it. That's the best way to go out right there, baby. I love it, Mr. Bloodline. All right, until next time, woo pig suey, guys. Be careful.